All right, so sometimes multiple nonmetals will combine to form a ion. And so these are known as polyatomic ions. And basically for now, what we want to do is memorize the name, the charge, and the formula of all of these polyatomic ions. So let's just start getting through it. You'll see these are very commonly mentioned in the course. The first one we have is ammonium. Ammonium's formula is NH4 with a +1 overall charge. Next up, we have hydronium, which is H3O with a plus charge. So it's kind of like water with an extra H plus. Next up, we have hydroxide. And this is OH minus, but you want to put the minus with the oxygen. Next up, we have acetate. This is CH3COO minus. Let's stop numbering this. I don't know why I started numbering them. Next up, we have cyanide, right? Like hydrogen cyanide, stuff that if you eat, it'll kill you. This is CN minus with the negative on the carbon. Next up, we have carbonate, CO3, 2 minus. After that, we have bicarbonate, which you would think is 2 carbonates, but it's not. It's actually just carbonate with an H plus, so it's HCO3 minus. And then after that, we have carbonic acid, which is like bicarbonate with just another H plus. So overall, it's H2CO3 with no charge. After that, we have nitrate, which is NO3 minus. And then we have nitrite, which is NO2 minus. So you can see ate and ite are related to one another. When we go from something that's called an ate to an ite, there is one less oxygen, right? So nitrate has 3 oxygens. That means nitrite only has 2. However many the ates has is not defined. So nitrate has 3, while other times you have something like sulfate, which is SO4 2 minus. That one has 4 oxygens. But then you know sulfite is SO3 2 minus. Notice that the charge stays the same. But going from ate to ite, we lose 1 oxygen. After that is phosphate, which is PO4 3 minus, and then phosphite, which is PO3 3 minus. All right, now we've got some more kind of weirdness, some more naming. We have chlorate, which is ClO 3 minus. Then we have chlorite, which is ClO 2 minus, right? So that kind of makes sense. But then we can actually add a per in front of the chlorate to add another oxygen. So we can have perchlorate. That'll be ClO4 minus. And then all the way on the right, we can have hypochlorite to take away yet another oxygen. So you can see this combination of chlorine and oxygen can have a lot of different variables, right? So the ate, you change it to an ite, you lose an oxygen. And then if you add hypo in front of that, you lose yet another oxygen. Then if you go back to the original chlorate, if you add a per in front of it, that means you gain an oxygen. So there's just some very common polyatomic ions. They're going to be used throughout the course, so and further in your chemistry studies. So you really want to memorize them, know the charge, know the formula, get it to the point where it's second nature.